So let's do a lesson for The Floods outro by Pantera. So I'd like to do this lesson because way back when I was taking guitar lessons in Belfast, there's like a video of me playing this online. Not very good, like I messed it up, and the hair was as bad back then as it is now. But I'd like to show you how to play it now properly, because obviously I can play it well 10 years later, at least I should be able to. But there's some cool picking ideas for your practice that you can take from this that I want to share with you. So what I'll do is, at the end of the video, I'll do a wee demonstration of me playing it slow and up to speed in standard tuning, okay? Just for those of you that don't want to mess around with your tuning. But I've tuned to C sharp. Now I think it's actually C sharp and a bit higher, the Pantera tuning. I've just tuned to C sharp here. So you try and get your guitar tuned to C sharp, and then we'll be in tune with each other. So that's the pattern we're going to use physically in terms of what fingers you're going to use. And then the picking pattern is pretty much going to be the same the whole time as well. So the movable shape that you can think of here is this. Okay. So I use first, middle, and little finger. I know some guys might do it this way, first, third, and pinky. You know, you can do that if it works for you, but in this case, first finger goes to fret 4 on the 5th string. Middle finger goes to fret 6 on the 4th string. Little finger goes to fret 8 on the 3rd string. And that's the pattern you're going to be using. So the picking pattern I like to use is down, down, down as you're going across those strings. Come back with an up. Go back up with your down pick. And then the last note's finishing on an upstroke. So just get that little section going first. And then all you do in the rest of the song is shift around these movable shapes, okay? So I don't need to keep talking about that, I'm just going to get on with demonstrating it, okay? If you're playing this, you're probably going to be a fairly decent player already, hopefully, or it'll certainly improve you to that level. So I'll start going through the parts and just talk about a few things as we go. The first part, then take that shape, move it down to fret 5 in your low E string, but do all the same movements now. Then we're going to go down to the low E here. Okay, so you've got the same shape in there, but you're starting with a low E string before you go to fret 2 of the 5th string. Then start from that fret 2 and do the same movable pattern. But that's like the other patterns before in terms of how it finishes. Back up to the starting point, fret 4 of the 5th string. But you've got a cool pinky slide, which is real good work for controlling your little finger. So finish on note 8 and slide to note 9 on the 3rd string. Then take that same move down to the low E string, fret 5. But that slide is from 9 to 11 that time. Then go to fret 7 of the 5th string, exact same move. Then fret 9 of that string. And the slide is just a half step there, 13 to 14. So get all that section done first before you go to the rest. Next section, go all the way up to fret 16 of your 5th string. and do the same pattern we started the song with. Move it to fret 12 of that string. Move it to fret 7. Up to fret 14. Back to fret 16. 12. 7. 14. Different ending there. Get that part sorted before you go on. Next part, we're going to introduce a little different thing with the picking. So fret 16 again. So when you come back to that middle note in the pattern, you're going to do a quick alternate pick on it. That's the only difference. Now shift that to fret 12, to fret 7, up to fret 14, back to 16, fret 12, 7, different ending. Slide down, get yourself into the next position. Back to that slide lick. Then fret 5 of your low E. Then down to low E. Fret 2 of your 5th string. And then we've got to the last bit. Give that 8th fret of the 3rd string some pinky vibrato. To the 5th fret of the low E string. Back to the slides. Now, I'll give you some advice for getting the shifts right. The trickiest thing is all this shifting on the neck. And that stretch might be tense in your hand, by the way, so it's certainly going to open up these fingers for you. A little tip. As you're finishing one section, let's say I was up here at fret 16 doing one of the patterns here. Before you finish that, look ahead to the fret you're going to go to. Look ahead before, okay? Not like at the last second and then struggle. So if you look at my head, you're going to see me look to that 12th fret towards the end of this bit. Then I've looked there. I've looked there. Okay. It's a very simple thing, and you probably think, well, yeah, that's obvious. But I catch myself not always doing that, not just with this song, but shifting on the neck. So really make sure that you're doing that, because it's not often that your technique's not going to be up to standard to play this. It's just your frame of reference and not looking ahead in time. So just keep that in mind. Now then, some other picking things you can do. So I explained at the start that I play down, down, down as you're going across the strings. I think most other people do strict alternate picking with this the whole time, so you could do that. You could turn it into a little sweep exercise as well. Instead of making it 3 individual picks, you can glide across those 3 strings as if it was some kind of sweeping arpeggio. You know, you'd get a lot of value out of your technique and playing if you could work on that as well. What you can do as well, sometimes for a bit of fun and to just challenge yourself, do it with all downstrokes, all of it. And you might guess the next one, do it all with upstrokes, which would really be awkward. So what I always like to think of when tell people that I teach in person is try and take the things you're doing, but milk it for all it's worth in terms of how much you can get out of it with your technique. Okay, there we have it. Thanks for your time then. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe for more, and share it with some people.